Chosen one, listen carefully. What is happening right now is not gradual, not slow, and not negotiable. God said it's escalating now, and when heaven moves like this, everything changes all at once. This message is important because what you survived was not random, and what you endured was not a delay. It was preparation. From my understanding, the past felt confusing, like doors kept closing even when you did everything right. You questioned timing, you questioned yourself, and at moments, you even questioned God. But what you couldn't see then is that the plan was never cancelled. It was reinstated. Heaven pressed reset, not to punish you, but to elevate you. This escalation is divine correction, divine acceleration, and divine justice happening simultaneously. Now hear this clearly. This is for you. God is lifting you all at once, not piece by piece, not step by step. The struggle is being wiped clean because it no longer matches who you are becoming. What used to resist you will now support you. What ignored you will now pursue you. This is the moment where alignment replaces effort, where favor replaces force, and where results replace waiting. You are stepping into a season where multiple breakthroughs collide, financial, spiritual, emotional, because the plan has caught up to the promise. The pressure you felt was not meant to crush you. It was meant to position you. Expect sudden recognition, unexpected doors, and rapid elevation that even you won't be able to explain. This is escalation, and it's irreversible. If this is resonating in your spirit, don't ignore it. Like this message, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs confirmation, and comment to mark this moment. You're not watching this by accident. Stay until the end, because clarity brings protection, and alignment brings manifestation. What God reinstated cannot be stopped, and what's being lifted now will be lifted all at once. The time has come, chosen one. God has declared that what we are entering is not a slow or gradual transition. It is a sudden escalation, a spiritual awakening that will ripple through the lives of every prepared soul all at once. Imagine the sky splitting open after years of twilight, revealing a light so intense it cannot be ignored. This is not a whisper in the background. It is a clarion call, an urgent summons for those who are ready to rise. The energy surrounding this period is palpable. It is pressing, immediate, and unstoppable. Those who remain passive risk being left behind, while those who embrace this moment will feel an acceleration in their spiritual growth like never before. This phase is unlike anything the world has seen because it bypasses ordinary measures of time and human expectation. Many are unaware that God's timing does not follow the calendars or schedules we are accustomed to. The escalation is divine, unmeasured by human standards, and it will catch some unprepared hearts by surprise. For the chosen ones who are alert and awake, however, it is an invitation, a challenge to stand firmly and claim what has already been promised. Every sense will be heightened, and every decision will carry extraordinary weight. The intensity is not meant to terrify, but to awaken the soul fully. Every day, more signs of this acceleration appear. You may feel it in moments of sudden clarity, in the sharp realization that your life cannot remain stagnant. Doors that once felt closed will swing open with unexpected swiftness. But remember, while God is ready to move, the question remains: are you ready to step fully into the unfolding of this divine escalation? Hesitation, doubt, or reliance on others will cost more than you can imagine. This is your moment to rise, and it begins now. God is not merely adjusting his plan, he is restoring it to its original perfection. There is a divine blueprint for every chosen one, a design that was set before the foundation of the world, and now it is being reinstated with precision. This restoration is not partial or gradual. It is sweeping. Everything that has been delayed, blocked, or misaligned will suddenly fall into place. You may have felt that progress was slow or that destiny was postponed, but this is the divine reset, a moment where God realigns everything according to his perfect will. This reinstatement affects every level of your life, your calling, your relationships, your influence, and even your spiritual authority. Think of it as a river that had been dammed for centuries, suddenly finding its path to the sea. There is both urgency and inevitability in this process. If you have been faithful in small ways, even the tiniest acts of obedience will now compound into monumental breakthroughs. Those who have ignored preparation, on the other hand, may find themselves unprepared for the intensity that is coming. God is not leaving any detail to chance. This is a divine orchestration beyond human comprehension. The beauty of this restoration is that it is deeply personal, yet universally affecting. Every chosen one experiences it individually, yet simultaneously with others. You are being positioned exactly where you need to be, while the world around you shifts in ways you might not yet understand. History itself is bending to the timing of God's original plan. To resist or remain passive during this phase is to risk missing the fulfillment that was designed for you alone. Now is the time to align, prepare, and trust that every step you take is guided by divine hands. The lifting is coming, and it will happen suddenly. This is not a gradual rise, but a swift elevation that will affect many at the same moment. Imagine standing in a crowd where the earth suddenly rises beneath your feet, lifting you higher than you could have imagined. Those who have prepared, who have remained faithful, will find themselves elevated in a way that defies ordinary explanation. Your life, your influence, and your spiritual authority will experience an acceleration that is both exhilarating and transformative. This shift is meant to awaken awareness, not to reward complacency. The suddenness of this movement ensures that only those who are awake, ready, and alert will benefit fully. Spiritual readiness is no longer optional, it is mandatory. The unprepared will experience a type of spiritual displacement, a moment of confusion or fading, while those who are attentive will rise into new realms of understanding and authority. It is a divine sorting, a separation that occurs not out of judgment, but out of readiness. Many of you may wonder why the lifting is so sudden, why God does not allow for a slower process. The answer is simple. Intensity breeds clarity. When God moves suddenly, distractions fall away, illusions are stripped, and your soul is forced to confront its true capacity. This is the stage where latent potential becomes visible, where hidden authority comes into play, and where the chosen ones begin to fully inhabit their God-given destiny. The key is to be prepared, awake, and responsive, because the moment of lifting will not wait for hesitation. Many look for signs of change in trends, movements, or social shifts, but this is not a human-led process. This is purely spiritual, a divine phenomenon orchestrated by God Himself. It transcends politics, economics, or societal trends. While the world may attempt to explain sudden changes with human reasoning, the truth is that this escalation operates on a spiritual level. It affects hearts, minds, and destinies, bypassing natural expectations. This is why it cannot be measured by ordinary human understanding or timelines. Understanding the difference between social and spiritual phenomena is crucial. Social events may involve groups moving together, but spiritual phenomena affect each soul individually, often simultaneously, yet in a way that cannot be predicted by human calculation. Your personal spiritual state, your readiness, your focus, and your faith determine how you are impacted. No one else can carry your weight in this moment, and no external trend can replace your personal preparation. The spiritual reality is intensely personal, and your engagement with it will define your position in the unfolding events. History shows that the most transformative moments are never social, they are spiritual. The great awakenings, the shifts in divine favor, and the sudden elevation of chosen leaders have always followed spiritual patterns that humans could not anticipate. You are part of such a moment now. Recognize the signs, heed the call, and remember that this is beyond mere human logic. It is a divine escalation that demands spiritual clarity, readiness, and unwavering focus. With every rise comes a corresponding fall. God has declared that something, perhaps many things, will fall off suddenly. This is not random, it is purposeful. It could be relationships, habits, distractions, or even positions of influence that no longer serve your divine destiny. The fall is designed to clear space for the elevation, to remove weight that hinders spiritual acceleration. For those who are awake, it is a moment of liberation. For those unprepared, it may feel like loss, confusion, or even collapse. The timing is swift, immediate, and non-negotiable. This simultaneous falling serves as both a warning and an opportunity. Witnessing these changes can be shocking, yet it is necessary for your personal transformation. Spiritual pruning is not optional. It is essential for growth. Imagine a tree shedding old branches to allow sunlight to nourish the core. So too will aspects of your life fall away to allow your true potential to flourish. Those who resist or fail to see the purpose in the fall risk being caught unready when elevation comes. Understanding and embracing this process is critical to navigating the escalating season. The lesson is clear. What falls away is not a reflection of failure, but of divine preparation. Accepting this spiritual pruning allows you to rise without unnecessary weight, to step into your authority fully, and to align with God's original plan. The simultaneous nature of this event underscores the urgency. Many will experience change at once, and the timing is precise. Those who are alert will recognize the fall as a signal to move boldly forward. Those who hesitate may find themselves left behind, unprepared for the remarkable elevation that awaits. Spiritual loafing is a silent danger that many underestimate. Unlike laziness in the physical world, spiritual loafing is the subtle tendency to rely on others' readiness, faith, or diligence instead of cultivating your own. It is the illusion that someone else will carry your weight, that preparation is optional, or that God's favor will compensate for inaction. In this escalating season, such assumptions are perilous. The consequences of spiritual loafing are not gradual. They are immediate and often irreversible, affecting your personal growth, authority, and alignment with God's plan. This phenomenon can manifest in many ways: procrastinating on prayer, avoiding spiritual responsibilities, or failing to develop discernment and wisdom. Even being distracted by worldly concerns can constitute spiritual loafing because it diminishes your awareness and responsiveness. Those who fall into this trap may feel secure among the masses, thinking that collective faith or social movements will sustain them. The truth is, this is a season where the spiritual economy is personal. Your elevation, protection, and insight are tied to your individual commitment, not someone else's efforts. Consider the example of a student in a classroom who relies entirely on group projects to pass the test. When the exam comes, only those who studied individually succeed. Similarly, in this divine escalation, each chosen one is being tested independently. Spiritual loafing will leave you unprepared for the sudden shifts and elevations that are imminent. The moment demands vigilance, diligence, and unwavering focus. This is not a season for spectators. This is a call to personal engagement with God's unfolding plan. The dangers of spiritual and social loafing are magnified in this escalating season. Social loafing, the tendency to rely on group momentum or collective effort, is already risky in everyday life. But spiritual loafing carries consequences far beyond the visible world. It dulls discernment, delays personal growth, and disconnects the soul from the urgency of divine timing. In a season where sudden elevation and intense spiritual pressure are the norm, loafing is no longer merely unwise, it is dangerous. Every moment of inattention is a missed opportunity for alignment, transformation, and readiness. Spiritual loafing creates a false sense of security. Many chosen ones mistakenly believe that preparation is optional or that their faith alone will carry them through. They watch others rise, assuming they will be elevated automatically. But God's timing and escalation are personal. The elevation of one soul does not automatically include another. Each individual's journey is measured by personal readiness, discipline, and responsiveness. The consequences of loafing are swift: missed opportunities, spiritual displacement, and delayed authority. To understand the stakes, imagine a group climbing a mountain. While the group moves together, each climber must navigate their own path over cliffs, obstacles, and sudden drops. Those who rely entirely on others will falter, while the alert and prepared rise safely and reach the peak. Spiritually, this is your moment to step fully into responsibility, vigilance, and personal readiness. Loafing is no longer a harmless habit. It is a barrier to the awakening, authority, and power that God is ready to release in this season. This season does not operate on a collective timeline. It is intimately bound to each chosen one. While many may experience similar spiritual phenomena simultaneously, the impact is highly personal. Your journey, your lessons, your awakenings, and even your pruning are unique to you. No one can experience your growth, bear your responsibility, or inherit your authority on your behalf. This individual binding ensures that every soul has the opportunity to rise to its fullest potential, provided it is awake, prepared, and receptive to God's instructions. Understanding this principle is essential because it dispels the dangerous illusion that shared faith or communal energy can replace personal accountability. God's escalation is like a forge. It strengthens, sharpens, and purifies those who are willing to engage fully. While the world may move in groups or trends, spiritual acceleration is measured by personal readiness. Even if everyone around you is awake, your elevation depends on your own preparation, focus, and obedience. Every chosen one experiences the intensity of this season according to their individual alignment with divine purpose. To illustrate, imagine a vast field of seeds. While rain falls on the entire field simultaneously, only the seeds with fertile soil and careful tending will sprout immediately. The same principle applies spiritually. God's favor and escalation touch everyone, but the outcome depends on individual readiness. This understanding should inspire urgency, focus, and personal diligence. There is no room for comparison or reliance on others. In this rapid escalation, there is no middle ground, no halfway point between spiritual awakening and fading away. Every chosen one is being tested, stretched, and pressured to awaken fully. Those who remain asleep or complacent will fade, experiencing spiritual displacement or loss of opportunity. This is not a threat, but a natural outcome of the intensity of the current season. The spiritual environment is shifting so quickly that neutrality is no longer safe. You are either fully engaged, fully aware, and fully prepared, or you risk being left behind. Awakening requires more than passive faith. It demands alertness, discernment, and action. It is an active state of consciousness, an ongoing commitment to grow, learn, and align with God's plan. Every thought, decision, and habit counts in this season. Small distractions, minor indulgences, or temporary lapses in focus can cause a spiritual fade. In contrast, consistent engagement with divine guidance, prayer, and obedience keeps the soul awake, alert, and prepared for sudden elevation. This is the essence of the season. Swift movement demands full presence. Consider this: a night watchman who dozes off for even a minute may miss the approaching threat, while the vigilant one intercepts it immediately. Spiritually, this season functions the same way. Fading is not failure. It is the natural consequence of inattention in a time of accelerated spiritual activity. Your clarity, awareness, and readiness are your protection and your passage into higher authority. God's call is clear. Awaken fully, for there is no room to drift, no safe middle ground, and no delay permitted in this escalating season. Each chosen one bears a weight of personal accountability that is inescapable during this season. No one else can carry your responsibilities, correct your missteps, or secure your elevation on your behalf. The divine escalation is highly precise, and every action or inaction has direct consequences. This is not the time to assume that faith alone, group effort, or inherited blessings will suffice. Personal accountability ensures that each individual is tested, strengthened, and perfected in alignment with God's plan. The beauty of accountability is that it fosters growth, clarity, and authority. Every choice you make, every step of preparation, and every act of obedience compounds into spiritual weight that determines your readiness for elevation. Conversely, neglect, distraction, or reliance on others weakens your foundation and risks leaving you behind. Accountability is not merely a responsibility, it is a privilege, a direct connection to the divine process that strengthens the chosen ones individually and collectively. Real-life examples make this concept clear. Consider a leader in a high-stakes mission. While the team's support is crucial, the leader must ultimately make decisions that affect the outcome. The success of the mission depends on personal engagement, not delegation of responsibility. Spiritually, you are that leader. This season demands that you stand fully accountable for your actions, your readiness, and your alignment with God's plan. Elevation is personal, Responsibility is personal, and the results are deeply transformative when embraced fully. The call of God is urgent, chosen one, and it cannot be postponed. Every hesitation, every moment of doubt is a delay in stepping into your divine assignment. This is not a gentle invitation. It is an immediate summons to rise, to prepare, and to align fully with God's purpose. The world may distract you, and even well-meaning voices may suggest patience or delay. But God's timing is precise. The call is now, and your response will determine how fully you enter into the elevation and authority that is waiting for you. Answering this call requires courage, focus, and unwavering commitment. Many delay because they fear the unknown or doubt their own capacity, but God has equipped you for this moment. Remember, the chosen ones are not defined by ease or comfort, but by faith, resilience, and readiness to act when the spiritual tide rises. Each action you take now, however small, compounds into momentum that propels you toward awakening and authority. This is the moment to step forward boldly, knowing that divine guidance accompanies every step. Consider the story of a soldier called to battle. Hesitation may cost the mission, but decisive action can turn the tide. Spiritually, the stakes are even higher. Your obedience and responsiveness are the keys to unlocking the elevation, clarity, and power that God is ready to release. There is no time to wait for perfect conditions. Faith in action now is the only path to fulfillment. God is calling. The question is, will you answer without delay? Do not mistake the pressure, challenges, or sudden changes of this season for decline. What feels like upheaval is actually rapid transformation, a divine acceleration designed to elevate, purify, and prepare the chosen ones. Just as a blacksmith heats, bends, and tempers metal to create a strong sword, God's escalation uses intensity to refine, sharpen, and strengthen your spiritual life. This is not destruction. It is construction at the highest level. Transformation in this season is swift and undeniable. The rapid changes you experience, losses, challenges, or sudden shifts, are opportunities to shed what no longer serves your divine purpose. They are not setbacks, but the raw materials of elevation. Every moment of struggle, every decision made under pressure, is a step toward greater authority and understanding. This is a time when clarity emerges through intensity and when hidden potential is revealed under the weight of divine acceleration. To fully embrace this transformation, you must shift your perspective from fear to faith. Recognize that rapid spiritual evolution requires adjustment, vigilance, and personal engagement. While others may see chaos or confusion, the awakened soul sees opportunity, growth, and alignment with God's original plan. This is a season where the spiritually prepared flourish, while the unprepared are left behind. Trust the process, embrace the pressure, and step boldly into the transformation that is unfolding around you. The spiritual pratfall effect is one of the most powerful phenomena in this season. It refers to the way mistakes, failures, or sudden realizations become catalysts for accelerated growth and understanding. Each misstep is not punishment. It is an opportunity for sudden clarity, divine correction, and heightened authority. In this intense period, the pratfall effect is amplified. A single moment of realization can shift your entire perspective, propel you forward spiritually, and unlock hidden potential. Understanding this effect requires humility and awareness. When a mistake occurs, it is not a setback, it is a spiritual signal. Every error brings insight. Every failure reveals weakness to be strengthened. And every misjudgment highlights areas where growth is imminent. Chosen ones who embrace this principle learn quickly, adjust intentionally, and transform setbacks into stepping stones toward higher authority and perfection. The pratfall effect teaches that growth is often non-linear, sudden, and profoundly transformative. Examples abound in history and scripture. Leaders, prophets, and visionaries often experienced failure before experiencing divine elevation. Their pratfalls were turning points that awakened latent authority and clarified purpose. Today, the same principle applies. Each chosen one faces moments designed to awaken them fully. Your mistakes are not the end. They are accelerators, tools of divine refinement, and markers of progress toward your ultimate calling. Recognize them, learn from them, and rise stronger each time. This season brings heightened competition, but not in the worldly sense. The competition is spiritual, internal, and measured against your own readiness and alignment with God's plan. Each chosen one is accountable not only to God, but to themselves, and the results of inaction or distraction are immediate and impactful. Notice is given through spiritual clarity, pressure, and revelation, signals that cannot be ignored. The awakened soul thrives in this environment, while the unprepared may stumble under the same intensity. Accountability is intertwined with competition in this season. Every action, decision, and choice is weighed in the spiritual realm, and divine consequences are exact. This is not meant to intimidate, but to motivate. The pressure to rise is personal and precise, ensuring that each chosen one is measured by their faithfulness, readiness, and engagement. Those who embrace this accountability find themselves advancing rapidly, gaining authority, insight, and divine favor at a pace that surpasses ordinary understanding. Heightened competition also brings clarity. In a room of equally prepared individuals, the differentiation comes from diligence, insight, and personal alignment with God's plan. The pressure is a refining tool, pushing the chosen ones to step into their unique authority, recognize their strengths, and address weaknesses quickly. Notice, accountability, and competition together create an environment of intense growth, where every chosen one has the opportunity to rise, excel, and fulfill the destiny prepared specifically for them. At last, the culmination of this season is the awakening of authority, power, and rule within the chosen ones. This is the stage where preparation, obedience, and readiness converge to manifest divine authority in your life. The power you have been cultivating, often unnoticed, now comes to the forefront. Your decisions, influence, and spiritual insight carry weight. This is the realization of God's original plan, unfolding in real time for those who remained awake, diligent, and prepared. The awakening is both internal and external. Internally, you gain clarity, discernment, and mastery over your spiritual domain. Externally, your authority is recognized in ways that affect relationships, leadership, and impact. Every choice you have made in readiness contributes to this moment. Every hour spent in preparation magnifies the authority now entrusted to you. The awakening is not automatic. It is the natural reward of engagement, vigilance, and personal responsibility during the escalation. This is a call to step fully into your rule, influence, and divine mandate. The power is not meant for pride, but for service, stewardship, and transformation of the spheres you inhabit. God's hand is at work, and the awakening of authority is a signal that the chosen ones are ready to operate in alignment with divine timing and design. Those who embrace it will experience fulfillment, clarity, and impact beyond what the world can measure, becoming beacons of the rapid spiritual transformation that this season was meant to ignite. The season of rapid change has arrived, and there is no going back to how life once was. Every area of your life, spiritual, emotional, and relational, is about to experience a shift that is profound and irreversible. The world around you may try to normalize chaos, yet this is no ordinary change. It is divine recalibration. What seemed stable yesterday may collapse today, and what once appeared distant and unattainable will suddenly emerge within your grasp. The pace of transformation is unprecedented, and it demands your full attention. This rapid shift exposes truths that were hidden in plain sight. Relationships, habits, and even long-held perceptions will be tested and either transformed or removed. The intensity of this phase is designed to awaken the chosen ones to their true purpose and authority. Imagine the ocean in a storm. Waves rise suddenly. Currents shift unpredictably, yet the lighthouse stands firm. You are that lighthouse, but only if you remain rooted, vigilant, and fully prepared. Change will not be gentle. The speed of this shift can be disorienting, bringing moments of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. Yet within this turbulence lies the opportunity for immense growth. Those who understand the divine orchestration will find clarity in the midst of chaos, power in the midst of pressure, and revelation in the moments that seem most unpredictable. The key is to remain awake, alert, and responsive to God's guidance at all times. Nothing will be the same, not because the world is failing, but because God's plan is unfolding in ways that defy human expectation. Every chosen one is being called to rise into this new reality, leaving behind old limitations, fears, and patterns that no longer serve their destiny. The rapid shift is a divine invitation to step fully into transformation, authority, and spiritual awakening. There is no neutrality in this moment. Either you move with God or you risk being left behind. In this escalating season, revelation will come suddenly and powerfully, like lightning illuminating the darkest night. These divine insights will arrive unexpectedly, piercing through confusion and revealing truths that you may have been seeking for years. The speed and intensity of these revelations are beyond ordinary comprehension. They are God's way of ensuring that the chosen ones rise swiftly, with clarity and purpose. Being ready to receive them is the difference between breakthrough and missed opportunity. Revelation can take many forms: a sudden understanding during prayer, a new perspective on a long-standing issue, or a flash of insight in the midst of chaos. The common thread is immediacy. The insight comes in a moment when preparedness meets opportunity. Those who are spiritually alert, disciplined, and attentive will recognize these moments and act decisively. Those who are distracted or spiritually idle may see the same revelation but fail to grasp its significance, missing the chance for transformation. Preparing for sudden revelation requires cultivating a state of readiness in every aspect of life. Your mind must be alert, your heart open, and your spirit attuned to God's voice. Avoid spiritual distractions, procrastination, or reliance on others to provide insight. The divine operates through intimacy with God and personal alignment, meaning that only the attentive will fully receive what is being released. This is a season that rewards readiness, courage, and faith-driven engagement. When revelation strikes, it can feel disorienting, awe-inspiring, or even overwhelming, but it is always empowering. The insights provided are intended to propel you forward, awaken dormant authority, and illuminate your path. Accept them fully, act decisively, and trust that these sudden moments are part of a divine orchestration designed to elevate the chosen ones into higher levels of influence, power, and spiritual maturity. God's escalation brings with it an hour of heightened accountability. Excuses, delays, and rationalizations hold no weight in this season. Every chosen one is called to step into their responsibilities with clarity, purpose, and integrity. The divine process does not accommodate procrastination or avoidance. What you have done or neglected to do will be evident in your spiritual position, influence, and readiness. There is no substitute for personal engagement in this critical hour. Accountability is both empowering and challenging. It provides an opportunity to demonstrate faithfulness, obedience, and readiness for elevation. Every choice, every act of preparation, and every alignment with God's will is recorded and measured. The consequences of action or inaction are immediate and tangible. While this may feel overwhelming, it is also a profound opportunity. The more disciplined and engaged you are, the more fully you participate in God's unfolding plan. This hour eliminates pretense. Social appearances, borrowed faith, and superficial devotion are exposed as insufficient. Only those who have cultivated diligence, obedience, and spiritual attentiveness will thrive. This is a time for self-examination, courage, and bold engagement with divine instructions. Accountability ensures that each chosen one rises according to readiness, not wishful thinking or external validation. Recognizing this hour of accountability empowers you to take decisive action. It encourages vigilance, persistence, and active preparation. There is no room for delay, and every excuse is a barrier to growth and elevation. Those who step fully into this hour will find their authority strengthened, their spiritual insight deepened, and their path forward illuminated. God's plan is unfolding. Will you rise to meet your responsibility?